All right, here's some big breaking news that's coming in. MS Dhoni steps down as Chennai Super Kings captain. He hands over captaincy of CSK to Jadeja. Here's a big move coming in. IPL 2022 that begins in just days to come. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who now has so long been the captain of Chennai Super Kings, steps down as the captain hands the baton to Jadeja. Remember, Chennai Super Kings is a winning team. Time and again that they've won the IPL under Dhoni's leadership. Dhoni now hands over captaincy of CSK to Jadeja. The reason for him stepping down yet to be ascertained. Let's quickly got across to Nikhil Vaz joining us on the phone line for some insights. Nikhil, MS Dhoni stepping down comes as a big shocker. Chennai Super Kings has won many times in the IPL under his leadership. He hands the baton now to Jadeja. What's the reason?
Well, if you had been following MS Dhoni's career in the last few days, I understand that the fans will be very, very surprised. But if you had been following his career for the last few years, you knew that this was coming. In fact, there were talks before this season started that there's a likelihood that MS may not continue as captain through the season. He may start off as captain and then in the middle of the season may hand over the reins to Ravindra Jadeja. This was widely reported in the cricketing media. However, this does come as a surprise that he decided to do it even at the beginning of the season. Yes, he's been an outstanding leader of a team, Chennai Super Kings, the second most successful franchise in IPL history. In fact, the last few days while we were analyzing, you could see, you can just look at the CSK team and figure out the reasons why he may have done that. Because if you were trying to make an 11 of CSK player on current form, when we were sitting down and making our 11 and doing all analysis, we realized that it was beginning to look very difficult to accommodate MS Dhoni in the playing 11. And for folks like us sitting on the outside trying to analyze the team, if we could see that problem clearly, this was something that may have crossed MS Dhoni's mind. We know that he was part of a training camp. The entire Chennai Super Kings squad had assembled in Gujarat. They had a long, extended training camp. Maybe because he's not playing international cricket at the moment, MS Dhoni, he may have assessed his own fitness. He may have assessed his own form at the moment. And you tend to... especially because if you're not playing international cricket, you tend to, not be in great touch when you come just for that 2 months of IPL. And maybe these are the things that MS Dhoni may have noticed. And we've seen him in the past as well with MS Dhoni. If you remember, in the tour of Australia, he quit Test captaincy right at the middle without anyone knowing. And at that time, he had thought it was the perfect time to hand over the captaincy to Virat Kohli. Remember, Virat had an outstanding series. So MS is sort of a guy who doesn't hang on to captaincy. That is something we can tell you, having covered MS Dhoni and his cricket for so long. Right. Seems like that once he thought that Jadeja was absolutely ready to take on the mantle, that's when he decided to step down.
Nikhil, thank you very much. Stay with us. I'm going to quickly cut across to Nikhil Mathur, joining us right from the newsroom for a little more insights on this. Nikhil, such heartbreaking information coming in for all those MS Dhoni fans as he steps down as the captain of CSK, the winning team of the IPL. Chennai Super Kings now will see a new captain in the form of Ravindra Jadeja. Give us the reasons to why this happened, what really went by, and how prepared is Ravindra Jadeja to lead that team?
So staying true to his character, Dhoni has sprung in a surprise and he has handed over the captaincy baton to Ravindra Jadeja. But Dhoni would have analysed, because he's not playing international cricket, so he would have analysed what is the best step for CSK going into the season. And remember, Jadeja was the most expensive player that CSK retained, and Dhoni was the second one. So Dhoni has handed over the baton to Jadeja because he thinks that this is the best for the Chennai Super Kings for the upcoming season.
Nikhil, give us a little more insight into why MS Dhoni may have taken this decision to step down, because he's he's a player par excellence. He may not be playing international cricket, but this was one platform that fans of MS Dhoni really waited for him to play, to watch him play. But it's really now come as a massive shock for MS Dhoni fans because he won't be leading that team anymore. Do you think there's any more of a curious reason to this move?
See, Dhoni is a selfless captain. He puts his team before him in any situation. So Ravindra Jadeja is a great player, he's a great all-rounder. So Dhoni, in a way, must have a discussion with the CSK management and the top think tank. And that's why he would have thought that Jadeja could lead the team in a great manner, and that's why he would have taken this decision. But again, the timing is quite surprising because the IPL is is to begin this weekend, and just a couple of days ago, Dhoni has decided to step down. But I'm guessing that they would have had a longer discussion, the management, the top players, and then they would have gone with this decision. And Jadeja we all know, is a great player, great all-rounder, and we will see his captaincy skills in the IPL for the first time.
All right, Nikhil, Jadeja now is going to be leading that team. Chennai Super Kings is a winning team of the IPL. Do you feel this is going to really strengthen the team further under his leadership? Does the team itself feel motivated at this point?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dhoni would be there as a mentor and a senior player who would motivate and who would guide the youngsters, and who would motivate the team and would guide the Chennai Super Kings for the upcoming season.
Right, Nikhil, thank you very much for joining us with those details. Now, we see that Dhoni hands over captaincy of Chennai Super Kings to Ravindra Jadeja. Like our cricket experts have said, Dhoni, a selfless captain, a selfless player. He always reposes faith in those more talented. Is Ravindra Jadeja more talented, in better form? Is he ready to take on this IPL as the captain of Chennai Super Kings? These are questions that will be asked certainly, and all eyes that will be set on Ravindra Jadeja now. Since Chennai Super Kings under Dhoni's leadership so long has managed to win IPL multiple times. It is a winning team undoubtedly. All eyes now on Ravindra Jadeja as Dhoni steps down, hands the baton to Jadeja to take the lead and the captaincy of Chennai Super Kings. Dhoni hands over captaincy to Jadeja. This move comes right days before the IPL begins. Remember, MS Dhoni has retired from international cricket. This was the platform that fans of Dhoni really waited to watch him play. Unfortunately, he won't be the captain. He certainly is still in the team, but will not be leading the team as a captain any longer. In fact, Nikhil was giving us some more perspective to this. Nikhil Naz, here's MS Dhoni, who's, according to you, been selfless and vacated that spot of captain and handed the baton to Ravindra Jadeja. As much as we see Ravindra Jadeja an all-rounder, he's himself a cricketer par excellence. Will he match to the captaincy acumen that Dhoni holds and how he's managed to win that team multiple times in the IPL? Do you think there is any match at all?
Well, you can't compare anyone to MS Dhoni, let alone a Ravindra Jadeja, who hasn't really captained it at the top level or the international level. In fact, you could arguably say that he's one of the greatest captains to have played the game, not just from India, but globally. So on that front, yes, I mean, it's going to be a big hole that he's going to leave behind. However, having said that, I think Ravindra Jadeja was the captain in waiting. As I'd mentioned earlier, we knew about this and we'd been reporting extensively, speaking to a lot of folks in the Chennai Super Kings camp, that MS Dhoni had sort of let the management at Chennai Super Kings know that he may not continue or may not finish the season as captain. However, at that time it was widely speculated that he may start off as captain and then slowly allow Ravindra Jadeja to take on the reins of the team as the season progresses. That he's decided to do it even before the season starts has come as a surprise, and I can see the reasons why that might have been the case. As I mentioned earlier, a few days ago, I mean, leading up to the IPL, we've been very busy analyzing every team, doing their SWOT analysis, looking at the ideal playing 11. And when we actually sat down, a group of us, that cover cricket, we sat down to pick the 11 for Chennai Super Kings. The trouble that we were finding was where to fit MS Dhoni, the batsman. Now, of course, he walks into the team as wicketkeeper, but as you know, IPL requires all-rounders. So you have to play a dual role to be part of that side. Unless you're a top-order batsman, which MS Dhoni isn't at the moment, he tends to bat in the middle order. And if you were trying to fit him in that 11, you were tending to push him even lower down the order to number 7, number 8. Now, batting at number 7 or number 8, you required big hitting skills right from the word go. For someone like MS Dhoni, who does not play international cricket now anymore, it becomes very tough to get into the groove or get into, your top form right from the word go. And maybe these are the reasons that have gone behind. Just to give an idea to the folks that are joining us, these could be the actual cricketing reasons that may have gone behind MS Dhoni deciding to quit his captaincy. Now, you talk about Ravindra Jadeja, very, very interesting. I think quite often we've spoken about how Ravindra Jadeja has always been underrated, even in the Indian team. Recently, if you remember, when Virat Kohli left the captaincy, there were a lot of names doing the round as to who should be captain, whether KL Rahul is that guy in waiting, or is it time for Rishabh Pant to take over after Rohit Sharma, who is the next captain, and no one really spoke about Ravindra Jadeja. And I think that's a folly that sometimes we tend to do. We tend to look at just batsmen to be captain, but if you are looking at an all-round player in Indian cricket at the moment, someone who can play all three formats and is a must-have in all three formats of the team, you could look at someone like a Rohit Sharma, you could look at someone like a Virat Kohli, and then you can look at someone like Ravindra Jadeja. So I think he has all the capabilities and the merits that are required to be captain, even of the Indian team. It's a pity that he's not looked at that way. However, having said that, CSK, we know, tend to groom their own players that have been there for very, very long. You know, they have a legacy they like to carry forward. They have an ideology that they follow in terms of how they want to play their cricket, and all of that goes into then deciding who should be the next captain. And just as MS Dhoni was Mr. CSK, Suresh Raina was someone that was associated with the team. I think the third name that's synonymous with CSK is Ravindra Jadeja, and so in that case, it comes as no surprise that Ravindra Jadeja has now been selected to be captain. What I think will be very interesting, and I think we really need to focus on, is whether MS Dhoni will now be part of the playing 11. We know he's a selfish character. We know that he will let go of his captaincy as he did in Australia for the benefit of the team. That in that case, it was the Indian team. He allowed Virat Kohli to be captain. Now